Hello, I'm Hendrik Rahmat Soleh, a student at Mercubuana University. I made this video to complete the assignment in English too. Please let me know if you find any mistakes in my whole conversation, so I can develop my ability to speak correctly, and I will be thankful for your contribution. I hope this video can be useful, and please enjoy the video. Thank you.
Passive voice. Passive sentence are sentences where the subject is okay or suffering something. In other words, the subject of the sentence becomes the object of the activity expressed by the verb. In Indonesia, the characteristic of the passive voice are verbs that begin with di, for example, dipukul, dipanggil, dimakan, diminum, dan lain sebagainya. Example, I am called by her. Saya dipanggil olehnya. I am helped by Mary. Saya ditolong Mary. In the two example book, the subject of the sentence is subject to verb, namely help and called. From the examples of active voice and passive voice book, it can be seen that passive voice can be formed from active voice. Change active voice to passive voice. The active voice to be changed must have an object, so in this case the verb used must be a transitive verb, a verb that requires an object. The passive voice verb must be in the past participle, third form of verb, or verb 3, which is preceded by to be. Am, is, are, was, were, be, been, followed by oleh. So the form of the predicate of the passive voice can be written as to be plus and passive participle verb 3. The passive voice is in continuous form, so the predicate is to be plus be plus past participle. The sentence structure must be in accordance with the tense form of time. 19 condition for converting active voice to passive voice. 1. If the active voice is in the form of simple present tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern. Subject plus is, am, are plus past participle. And nouns used to be is, am, are, according to be object form from the object of the active voice. And then, for example, she writes letter. A letter is written by her. Next, 2. If the active voice is in the form of present continuous tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern. Subject plus am, is, are plus being plus past participle. For example, he is closing the window, and the window is being closed by him. Next, 3. If the active voice is in the form of present perfect tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern. Subject plus have or has plus been plus past participle. And nouns use have or has must be adjusted to the subject that comes from the object of the active voice. Example, they have played the ball. The ball has been played by them. Next, 4. If the active voice is in the form of present perfect continuous tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern. Subject plus have or has plus be plus past participle. And for example, Fuad has been writing the lesson, and the lesson has been written by Fuad. And next next 5. If the active voice is in the form of simple past tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern. Subject plus was or were plus past participle. Notes use was or were in passive voice that they are related to the feeling subject from the object of the active voice. Example: Syah Rosa opened the door, and then the door were opened by him. Okay, next 6. If the active voice is in the form of past continuous tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern. Subject plus was or were, be plus past participle. Example: Rifki was drinking some water. Some water was being drunk by him. Okay, next 7. If the active voice is in the form of past perfect tense, then passive voice has a sentence pattern. Subject had plus had been plus past participle. Example: Acep had written a letter, and passive voice, the letter had been written by him. Okay, next 8. If the active voice is in the form of past perfect continuous tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern. Subject plus had been plus being plus past participle. For example, active voice: Enteng had been riding a motorcycle, and passive voice: a motorcycle has been being ridden by him. Okay, lanjut. Okay, next 9. If the active voice is in the form of simple future tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern. Subject plus will plus be and plus past participle. For example, active voice: My wife will make some cake, and the passive voice: some cake will be made by my wife. Okay, next 10. The active voice is in the form of future continuous tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern. Subject plus will plus be plus be plus past participle. For example, active voice: Nanda will be playing the ball, and the passive voice: the ball will be being played by him. Okay, next 11. If the active voice is in the form of future perfect tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern. Subject plus will plus have been plus past participle. For example, active voice: Nanda will be playing football, and the passive voice: the ball will be being played by him. Okay, next the 12. If the active voice is in the form of future perfect continuous tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern. Subject plus will plus had been plus being plus past participle. For example, for active voice: Nur Kalam will have played volleyball, and passive voice: volleyball will have been played by him. Okay, next 13. If the active voice is in the form of future past tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern. Subject plus word plus be plus past participle. For example, active voice: He will open the door, and passive voice, the door will be opened by him. Okay, next, 14. If the active voice is in the form of future past continuous tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern: subject plus would plus be plus been plus past participle. For example, active voice, they would be playing tennis, and then to passive voice, tennis would be being played by them. Okay, next, 15. If the active voice is in the form of future past perfect tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern: subject, would plus have been plus past participle. An example for active voice: Could Saibah would have finished that work, and passive voice, that work would have been finished by him. Okay, next, 16. If the activity voice is in the form of future past perfect continuous tense, then the passive voice has a sentence pattern: subject plus would plus have been plus been plus past participle. Example, active voice: Rahmat would have been painting the house, and the passive voice, the house would have been painted by him. Okay, next, 17. If the subject in the active voice is unknown or only mentioned in general, for example like people, someone, him, here, them, then it becomes the object in the passive voice. It can be omitted. For example, active voice, people speak English all over the world, and the passive voice, English is spoken well all over the world by people. English is spoken well all over the world. Okay, next, 18. The object of the passive voice actor must be written if the person who performs a certain action, for example by George and by Billy. Example: Hilman painted the door, and the door painted by Hilman. Okay, the last, number 19. If the active voice use auxiliary verb, then the passive voice will have sentence pattern like below: subject plus auxiliary plus be plus past participle. And for example, active voice, Rifai can find the house, and passive voice, the house can be painted by him. Notes for description verb. What can be used as a passive sentence in an active sentence whose predicate is the word transitive verb, where is the verb that requires an object. For example, buy, bring, tell, give, do, dream, eat, agree, write, etc. While the active sentence whose predicate is the word intransitive, where is the verb that doesn't need an object. For example, go, write, come, look, sleep, bleed, etc. Can be used passive voice. Okay, thank you for attention. Stay healthy and stay home. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I guess it's all my description about passive voice. Thank you for watching, and stay healthy and stay home. Thank you. Bye bye.